What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to this reaction video after David Coote's bombshell interview leading, well, a double life by the sounds of it. I'm going to go through and give you the basic understanding of what was said in the interview and my opinion of it. Of course, I do want to know your thoughts, so let me know in the comment section. But remember, there's a human being behind this situation, and whatever you think, the man's clearly been hurting, and he has been held to account. He's lost his job, and as a football fan, particularly a Liverpool fan, all I ever wanted in this situation was for him to be held accountable for his actions and what he said, and he has been, and he lost his job. After that, like anybody else in life, they should have a path to redemption and to go on and live a happy, fulfilled life. So let's take you through some of the bits and pieces from this interview and why it is such an explosive one. Firstly, David Coote said that he turned to cocaine as an escape from the pressure of hiding his sexuality in the macho world of Premier League football. He revealed his struggles with self-esteem and the impact of living a double life. Look, any of us that have had addiction in our lives or known anybody with addiction will understand that a lot of the time people turn to these things, whether alcohol or drugs, as a release, as a crutch, as something to lean on. So I have every sympathy with him feeling that he needed to find an escape route from what he described as the macho world of Premier League football. But I am saddened as a human being that we aren't at a place of acceptance yet, and that people maybe like David Coote feel like they have to live this double life. It makes me sad as a human being that they feel this way. I think and hope that in years to come, sexuality isn't something that's even discussed as being important, because it shouldn't be. You should love who you love and you should be who you are, and the world should accept you for that. This, to me, goes beyond the football side of it, into the human side of it. And people are going to say that he's looking for sympathy. And look, the truth is, I don't know. I don't know, but I have to take everything at face value here. And I have tremendous sympathy for him. And it could be because addiction's been prevalent in my own life with my parents. And, you know, I've seen the side of that. And nobody, regardless of financial situation, social status, nobody wants to be an addict. Nobody. So for him to turn to cocaine, his own words, to find a way out of this or to, you know, blur it out, I get it. I totally understand it. He went on to say that the sudden death of his mother and his uncle's diagnosis with motor neuron disease, combined with an intense work schedule over 90 games in a season, created a pressure cooker environment that led him towards substance abuse. And look, in these situations, I often point to my own life and think how lucky I am that I do have a support network that I can speak to if I'm having problems or concerns. And I would certainly urge anybody out there, if you are suffering with mental health issues or, you know, you're battling your own demons, please do seek to get professional help, and talking about these things definitely does help. And I've no doubt that losing a mother and his uncle's diagnosis would have had an impact on him. I know as I'm saying this, there's going to be a lot of comments from people who don't feel sympathy for him or don't really care. And that's okay as well. I'm not telling you guys how to feel. I'm just saying, for me, he's already received the punishment that I wanted him to receive. And it's been a while since we've heard from him, and he's come out now with this interview. And what the reasons are for this interview, he does say himself, but if you want to take that at face value or not, again, that's up to you. He faced allegations regarding a betting incident where a friend informed him about a bet on a player getting booked, which David Coote denies was pre-arranged, but acknowledges the poor judgment in messaging him about it. Look, there's been a lot of poor judgment from David Coote over this whole time being, from allowing that video to be recorded, the one that we'd all seen, him sitting there with the other gentleman talking about Robbo and Klopp and this kind of stuff. That's just poor judgment, and eventually it did come back, bite him in the backside and cost him his job. But we have to remember, he's a human being here. And surely if this was one of our own family members, friends or relative, we'd want the best for them in this situation. And it was good to me at the time to hear that the PGMOL, for all of their failings in my opinion, did say that they would be there to support him through this process. And I'm glad that they have been, and I'm glad that he has been getting some counselling, which I'm going to move on to now. So he said after losing his job and facing public scrutiny, he sought therapy, overcame his drug habit, and now hopes his story will encourage openness and challenges the cultural norms in football. And I don't see anything wrong with that, to be honest. Anything wrong with what he said there, what he's hoping to do. Look, in any of these situations, everybody's going to have some type of self-preservation involved in them. And I've no doubt that this is a double-edged sword. But if it does start a conversation, if it does encourage more people to be open about their sexuality throughout the sport, surely that's a good thing for all of us. Whatever club we support or whatever allegiance we have, we do want football to be a welcoming environment that doesn't have any barriers of geographical locations or sexual preferences or financial places in the world. And I've long felt that football needs to break down this barrier because, you know, it is a very macho-driven environment, but I hope that this can start a conversation. And I'm not looking to minimise the impact of, and the negativity that he had towards Liverpool in any way, shape or form. But like I'm trying to say here, he's been held to account for that and he's lost his job. And I think there should be a path to redemption for everybody. So for me, I'm going to have to go through this information a little bit more, try to process it and figure out what it means. But we now at least have an understanding of how we got to this point and how David Coote got to this situation. And it's up to you guys if you want to be forgiving or have empathy or don't really care about it. You know, I don't think there's any right or wrong way to feel here. But for me, it is an interesting interview and it gives us a little bit of insight, I guess, to the pressures on these guys week in and week out. And I'm sure that extends to the players and the coaches and all as well. I just don't feel he has a place in football anymore. And that's not because of his sexuality or anything else, but because of his actions in and around that time. But like I've said many times in this video, he's been held to account on that. And I just don't think that you can do much more. During tonight's stream, we did speak about this at the end of it, and it was met with mixed reactions from people in the chat. And again, that's understandable. Some people felt like it was him just looking for sympathy or just positive PR or whatever it might be. But ultimately, I just hope that the human being that is David Coote finds peace and contentment and gets on with his life, because he served his punishment. He's been sacked. And after that, surely we all want the best for our fellow human beings. So over to you guys to let me know what you think about it. I know this is a little bit of a different video from the normal ones where we're speaking about transfers and stuff, but this has been a little bit of a late breaking story. TalkSport posted to say, breaking, David Coote comes out as gay and admits to taking cocaine in bombshell interview. And that certainly wasn't something that I had on my bingo card for Monday the 27th of January. But we do now have some answers to how we got to this point, what made the man that we'd seen in front of that camera that time, and where he's at now. So up to you guys what you think about that, but I am interested to know, so let me know in the comment section. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, where we'll go through all the news around Liverpool, the preview for the game against PSV Eindhoven's coming out in the morning, and then we will have a news video in the afternoon. So much love to you guys. Thank you for watching. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.